Now I know some people got dots. Some people got dots. I even
Yes.
got dots.
Yes.
And I just want to say this. Some of y'all folks out there doxing people, y'all wrong. Putting people job information out there. What y'all did to let me see your transcript was a shame. They called this woman job, showed up to this woman job when this woman is a teacher, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. But family, we need peace. We need unity. That's all I'm saying, brothers and sisters.
Anti-Afro Svengalis, don't come down too hard on conscious energy, because you know how let me see your FBI is. I mean, let me see your handcuffs is. She will continue to cry and whine and grovel and start talking about her health issues and continue to do this. And the fake tears. Yes, she will turn the camera off and start going, I can't take my health issues, my diabetes. I got a cardiologist and endocrinologist, and I got my medication and anti-alcoholic. Oh, can't you see that she's so upset because I don't agree with her. She cries. So she was working on conscious energy, crying and whining. She'll continue to do that, and she won't ever say what she did. And we all know that nice dudes can be sucker for tears. And I don't think we should necessarily criticize the brothers for feeling that way unless they start abusing us. So if they're not abusing us, go ahead and let them tell, let me see your handcuffs, fake and ass bullshit story. And we're going to come on here and we're going to tell the truth. So let's tell the truth. As far as people calling, let me see your handcuffs job, calling the job? Who's called the job? I know there are people in what they call the church sector who called the job. So let's clear the air. If they're referring to me, I filed a written complaint against let me see your handcuffs, and then I called to follow up when I didn't hear or receive a confirmation. And then I received that confirmation that, oh, yes, we absolutely did get the complaint. We are still investigating. And yes, we should have sent you a written confirmation. That was my one phone call. And let's say that I did call her job. I have every right to call her job. She's a public servant. She is a public servant, just like let me see your handcuffs, got her ass up here and told everybody to send in a complaint to the licensing board. I don't have an issue with that. People have a right to come up here and say, send a complaint in. I've never stood in the way of anybody saying file a complaint. What I find offensive is when, let me see your FBI. Yeah, I meant to say that the first time. I was just kidding. When she gets up here and starts crying and whining when people file complaints against her. And I will say those are legitimate complaints. So let's talk about people showing up at her job. I don't have any information about anybody showing up at her job saying, hey, what you doing on YouTube? Who showed up at her job, as I understand it, was the Harris County Sheriff's Department. The cops show up people's jobs all the time. I understand that they did not show up at her house because I understood that she moved. We can't tell the cops not to show up at her job if you are under investigation for criminal offenses that you obviously committed. So let me see your handcuffs leaves that out. She leaves out everything. She only tells you what she wants you to hear, that she's being picked on because people don't agree with her. She leaves out the part where she was harassing minor children. She leaves out the part that she was filing false CPS reports and false police reports. She is a liar, people. That's all she does is run around these YouTube streets trying to get pity. And as I understand it, let me see your FBI has been suspended from her job. So much for I's fake Tonia, who was up here saying, you still got your job. Well, she's suspended from her job, as I have been told. And rightfully, we don't have any control over what the school district will do. Her conduct drives the decision, and her conduct was deplorable. Now, who else would show up at Let Me See Your Handcuffs job? They were trying to serve her with a lawsuit, with a civil suit. Breaking the Culture of Silence is suing her because Breaking the Culture of Silence got clearance from child welfare and from the police that these reports that went in were unfounded. And when you have reports going into law enforcement and CPS more than one time with allegations that are clearly false, you have a right to file a lawsuit. And that's what Breaking the Culture of Silence did. And I encourage anybody, if somebody has clearly filed a report against you that you know is false, you know there is no evidence that exists. I'm not talking about videos that you've taken down, that you know the evidence is there. I'm talking about instances where you know you didn't break your child's arm. You know your house isn't filthy. You know you don't neglect to feed your children. This is the kind of shit that Let Me See Your Handcuffs and Darryl Moore were reporting to CPS. How in the hell would they know what Breaking the Culture of Silence does with her children? They know what they said were lies. Anybody who's in that situation, hopefully you will go full force with filing a lawsuit. Because here's the situation. Even if a person doesn't have a job at the current moment, you can still attach their wages when they get a job. Who knows? They might win the lotto one day and you get to attach their earnings. I'm just saying, Let Me See Your FBI has engaged in this crap for years. This is not new. She's been doing this for 3+ years. She was harassing people's parents, or mother, I should say. She harassed King Jai's mother, who was in prison. What the hell you're harassing someone's mother in prison? This is sick, people. And then she wants to turn around and act like she's a victim. She is no victim. She targets vulnerable people for attack. And she wants to make herself feel that she's all powerful when she's doing it. But when she gets caught, then she starts crying like she's the one under attack, like she's a victim. By running around here acting like, oh my God, I didn't do anything. You did plenty. If Let Me See Your FBI didn't do anything with respect to me, how the hell did I come up with 5 full pages on my complaint? And I just had a few references to other people. Most of the things that I complained about were directly related to what Let Me See Your FBI did specifically to me. So you actually think I'm going to sit here and let you violate my rights after I tell you time and time again to knock it off, and you refuse to do that, and I'm going to let you just continue to do it, and I'm not going to file a complaint against you? Are you serious? This is what she expected me to do? This is what she goes and whines to Conscious Energy about? That I'm violating her rights when she refused to stop after being told repeatedly to stop, and I generated 5 written pages of violations against her. These are violations that come directly out of the contract that she signed with the Aldine Independent School District. I went to the freaking website and pulled your own damn contract down and read through it. This is a contract that's posted. It's public knowledge. The personnel regulations, the contracts that all teachers sign. Yes, you signed on the dotted line that everybody else did, but for some reason you didn't think you had to follow the regulations. So she wants to come on here and call people a liar and say she didn't say the things that she said. And to top it off, I attached the audio. I attached the screenshots. So you're going to call me a liar and said that you didn't say those things, although you are on audio? There are live streams with you moving your mouth and you saying these things. What are you saying? I'm a Hollywood producer and I can make you say things that you didn't say? If that's the case, I'm in the wrong damn business. I shouldn't be here on YouTube. I should be in Hollywood somewhere. You know you said those things, and that is why you pulled those videos down. But you pulled them down about 3 months too late because they were captured as you were doing the shit that you were doing, or immediately thereafter. It wasn't until you realized I was serious about filing a complaint, did you start pulling down those videos and you tried to make it appear that you were the one under attack? Because I didn't pull shit down. I'm not pulling anything down. So she said, well, look at her videos. She has all those videos up about me, and look at me, I don't have any up with her. And she went and said, oh, they like me there. They like us. I went and told them what you said. I put it in writing and I gave them the audio clip of you stating that you're liked at the school. So basically nothing was going to happen. This is a person who is so calculating and wants to get up here and cry and whine to people. She wants to make it appear she did absolutely nothing. And when she initiated all of this bullshit, this is a person who sought us out. We never said, let me see your FBI, join anti-fraud warriors. Never. She pursued us, jumped up on a live stream and said she'd been an anti-fraud warrior for a year. That's how this all got started. She knew that the Against the Law team was not going to give her the clout and the prestige and the recognition because they were treating her like garbage. And yes, let me see your FBI complained about Marcellus, Darryl Moore, and Roxanne. She makes it appear that she had some like earth-shattering news that me and Gerald were saying stuff about Lennon. And there was this earth-shattering information about KKC. I mean, the stuff was so hot that she sells it. Wow. She really wanted you all thinking she was queen shit. And what did she get out of that? She didn't even get a wrench out of that. She has never had a wrench on Lennon's page, and she's never had a wrench on KKC's page. But she was so into this false persona that she was somebody so important that you all are looking at her like she really had something to give you. And she was classified as a snake. We treated her as a snake. She didn't get any information. And look where she is now. And when did either of them ever get up on a public platform and defend her for this bullshit that she's doing? When did either of them, KKC or Lennon or anybody ever get up here and defend, let me see your FBI? Where are all these people? All her support system. Who's paying her legal fees? She's in some serious ass trouble. Who's going to bail her ass out of jail if she gets arrested for this? I don't think people are going to be busting down any doors to bail her out of trouble. This is a trouble she got in all by herself. I told all of you, I said it once and I will say it again. Darryl Moore was not going to stop until he destroyed, let me see your FBI, because he lost his right to be able to work in a school setting. He told the story. I'm attaching the article so you can read it yourself. He was accused of assaulting a student. Then he talked about how he went into a psychiatric ward. He was charged with a crime. The charges were dropped, so he says. But he never went back into the education field. So he resented the fact that, let me see your FBI was still in the field. So he puts her up to all this crap and she's stupid enough to go along with every single thing he told her. And I'm not done with that. I got another video I'm posting about just how far she was willing to play the sheeple role and just do whatever he said. And then she was kicked to the curb. He sat there and he let Marcellus talk to her like a three-legged dog, but I don't give a shit. She still got what she deserved because she's a backstabber. She backstabbed Marcellus right there in front of the world. Right in front of the world. She backstabbed him. And she is not out of the woods. She's also under an investigation, and they turned her loose because she had no other use for them. They could no longer engage in their criminal activity together. So what use is let me see your FBI to the Against the Law team? She's no use to them anymore. So she wants to run around here talking about her health issues. It's irrelevant. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that I still have these stitches in my mouth. Who cares? Nobody cares about your health conditions. You're trifling, you're low down and dirty. They can give you your medication if you happen to spend, even if it's 24 hours in a jail cell. You still get your medication. You should be serving probation. You should have your credentials revoked. You should not be a teacher making false CPS reports. That is incongruent with being a teacher. You're supposed to be in a position of trust, and you're up here abusing the child welfare system by making up lies on people and making false police reports. This is unheard of, that you think you have a right to be a freaking teacher and teaching minors. And you run around and act like you didn't do anything. You were crying to Conscious Energy and everybody else. Yes, they should have come to your school and served you with those papers if they actually were able to find you. The police, the Harris County Sheriff's Department should have came and spoken to you on your job if they couldn't find you anywhere else. Who the hell are you to think you can do the shit that you did for 3+ years and nobody can talk to you about it, or nobody can talk to you about it? Hosting those demon-infused live streams where you let that nasty ass Garfield, Carrie Ann, get up there and accuse Rev G, an innocent person, of being a child molester. You have a reckoning coming that you deserve, and it needs to play out here right in front of everybody in public, just as you perpetrated these criminal acts, just like you stole money from anti-fraud warriors saying you were the president. You got money when you said that. And then you turn around and act like anti-everything doesn't like me because I don't agree with her. You're right, I don't agree with you perpetrating criminal acts upon innocent people. You're a race attacking, envious ingrate. You're a backstabber. You are not to be trusted. And after all of that crap you did, thinking you were trying to curry favor with KKC and Lennon Honor, you never got a wrench out of it. You didn't even get a pity wrench out of it. Was it worth it to you? No, I haven't seen either one of them get up and defend you. Conscious Energy's up here defending you. Even the Against the Law team has booted you because you were used. Is Dempsey going to help you out? You're sitting over on his channel. He's got all those nasty ass videos on his channel, and you're dumb enough to be sitting over there in his live stream. You have to pay for what you did to people. People didn't do jack shit to you, and you went targeting them and their families. You went targeting elderly people. You went targeting disabled people. And you went for little kids. You're supposed to be protecting children. You're a mandated reporter. You're supposed to be teaching children and leading children around, and you're making false CPS reports, trying to get children removed from their mother. Then you have the nerve to come onto the internet and call yourself a victim on his channel, and you're dumb enough to be sitting over there in his live stream. You have to pay for what you did to people. People didn't do jack shit to you, and you went targeting them and their families. You went targeting elderly people. You went targeting disabled people. And I'm not done. I've got so many other things I'm going to say about Let Me See Your FBI. Just make sure you don't touch that dial, because I've got a lot more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.